Hello, so let's start with implementing iteration number 2, displaying one code. If we want to follow the problem definition, what we would like to accomplish is to build an app that displays one text or one string. In the solution definition, we will need to look for a library component that allow us to make that display, and in the implementation, we'll open Xcode and go ahead and build this. So let's go ahead and see how we can do that and build our first app in Xcode. I have Xcode open here for me. It comes with the original wizard that helps us set up a new project. So I will create a new Xcode project, the second option you have. And in the wizard, we'll select a template. There are two types of templates: OS X if you're developing for the Mac, iOS if you're developing for the mobile device. So we'll use iOS. We'll select application. There are several application templates. We'll use the single view application. And next, it will ask you for information about the application. The project is our development environment, so we can build a project and make multiple products out of it. Here we're going to say we're building today's code, which is an application that displays a code on a daily basis or every time it is opened, what we are trying to accomplish here. The organization name can be anything. If you're working for an organization, that will be the name. If not, then anything you want. Similarly, the organization identifier. If you're in an organization and distributing your app through the store, there's probably already one defined and you just need to use it. If not, and you're doing this for yourself, you can type anything. Here I type the reverse URL of where we are. So this is a basic iPhone class at the University of Cincinnati School of Information Technology. So that's why I have this. Language, starting with the in October 2014, there are two options, Swift and Objective-C. So we'll choose Swift, and devices, there are options, so we'll choose iPhone. If use core data is checked, uncheck that for now. This is introductory level. You can learn about core data later on. Then next, it will ask you where do you want to save it, and it will remember the last place you were at. So I'm saving here to this folder. If this is your first time, create Git repository will be checked. This is Git is a tool to help you synchronize your source code and across different between users and devices and maintain a source code control or history of your source code. If you're familiar with Git, you can use it. If not, uncheck this and move on. Then you come with Xcode with this screen. You have your project on the side, and you have your editing area, and you have your utility area. Our goal is to build an app that displays a single code. In fact, since we selected a single view template, we already have an app that has one screen, and that screen is empty. The main.storyboard file gives you access to that screen, and that's what we see right here in front of us. And you can choose the size of your screen depending on the device that you are aiming to develop for. We are going to develop for the iPhone, so click on the width any, and we'll set the width to be compact with any height, which is the suitable orientation or the size selection for iPhone. So you see that the size changed, the width changed a little bit based on that selection, and we'll make that selection all the time. If you are curious about what this was about, you can read about auto layout. And if this is your first time learning about iOS, wait until we finish several projects, then you can explore that topic later on. If you know about layouts from previous experience, you can look at the Apple developer website and learn more about it. Then we want to add a text on this view, because this view is empty. If we try to run this app now, if you click on run, it will run the app on the scheme or the selection of the device. So here are the different options that are available in the simulator. So we're running on an iPhone 6, and if you try to run, you will see we have an app that has one screen, and that screen is empty because, as you see in front of you, there's nothing on the screen. It first brings in the launch screen, and then here is our blank screen. We want to put a code here, or in other words, we want to put some text. So how can we put text in here? Every time you reach the question, how can I do this? I want you to rephrase the question and start saying, is there a library that can do this for me? So how can I display text on this screen? Then let's rephrase the question, is there a library that can help me display text? So let's look. In the utility area, there's two halves. The lower half give you access to what's available in the library, and the upper half give you details about a particular library if you select one. The third option here is called the object library, that has a library of all the objects available with the iOS. So let's look for them and search to see if there is something here that can allow us to build, to display text on the screen. So there is a view controller, navigation controller, and there's a small description. In the beginning, you're gonna have to go through all of them until you find the one that you want, so it might be time consuming. However, as you start building apps and as you go through the different projects, you'll become familiar with those and you can jump through very quickly. In the beginning, when you search the library, somebody will tell you, so I will be telling you what component will do this task. You may find it on the web, you may read about it in a book, or you may just go through and explore on your own. The more you become familiar, the faster you will be and the more powerful you will be as an app developer. So we'll go through those, and then there's something called label that attracted my attention. I think that might be similar to what we want to do. It says variably sized amount of static text. You may not really understand what does that mean, so you can click on it and it gives you more description, implements read-only text view. That's what we want, text view. The word text refers to anything on your keyboard, so any string, we use that as well. And read-only meaning that the user cannot edit it. So if you want to display text on the screen that the user cannot edit, that is the component for you. It tells you like a nickname, label, and the library name. So this UILabel in gray, that's the name of the library. So if you want to know more about the capabilities of this library component, you go look up this UILabel. UI stands for user interface. So any library that starts with UI, know that this is a library that to be used on the user interface. So let's add the label to our screen. So we do this by dragging. So you click and drag the label to your view. And as you can see, what's been selected here before I drop, and you can see it is written in the lower right corner, view. This is another library component, and it is actually available in the object library that we just looked at, but it was added automatically by the single view template, so we didn't have to worry about adding this very first one. In later project, we'll make more than one view and we will add our own views later on. So we add the label like this, and suddenly you see that the upper half has changed, and there are 6 different options here, and if you hover your mouse you can see what they are, and the name is expressive. We will be using mostly the attribute inspector, which gives us access to the characteristics or the properties or the attributes of this component. What does that mean? Like what text you put in there, what color, what font size, what alignment, and there are several options here that you can explore. So this is what we want to use, and we'll add the text, and the text I want to add is our code. So this is the label text. So I will say I'm gonna use, and you can use any code you want. I'm gonna use begin with the end in mind by Stephen Covey. And once you move out of this by hitting the tab or hitting the enter, it reflects on the view. But you notice the size is small, so we can resize this a little bit. We can go all the way to the margin here. And we have our code. There are a number of lines, so we can say I want to do more than one line, so you can increase the number of lines. It doesn't change here. Actually, it does, but the width, the height does not allow you to see it, so you can increase your height a little bit. In this particular situation, our code only occupies one line, so even though we have 3 lines available, it is not showing. You can play with the different properties. Now we have text. Before I play with it, let's run it. So I stop the simulator, then run again. and here is the code displayed. So whatever you put on the screen here, that's what shows up on your app. So let's play a little bit with the properties or the characteristics. If you select the code, you can come and change the color, and if you click on it from here, it gives you access to the color wheel, or you can click down and choose some of the recently used colors or some other options. You can go to different scales, and you can set up the color this way, and you see it is reflected. You can go to a color spectrum and choose color that you like, and when you're done, you close. You have access to system font. You can change the size, or you can click text to get access to the fonts. If you go to custom, give you access to the font book on your Mac, and you can access all the fonts that are currently available. If you want to access different fonts, you just need to add it to your font book on your Mac and then access it from here. You can choose the style of the font, and you can choose size and say done. You can also have background for it if you want. So this changes, so you can do a lighter one or a darker one, whatever you want. And so here I'm selecting the label. If you select the view, which is the white area that the label sits on, you get the same thing. So you notice that this is a view. The attributes now change it from label, it said label, to another component, which is a view. And you have also background, which is currently white. That's why we see white screen. And if you want to change this to a different background, you can do that, and it will change the different background, and now you see the background of the label that we selected. Or you can choose any other background. You can come back to the wheel and change any other background that you want. Right? Then you can run. I didn't stop the simulator, so when I clicked run, it told me, are you sure you want to stop? You can say, I don't want to see this message again, or you can stay safe and say stop just in case, to avoid making mistakes. All right. So that's where we are. And in the next video, so what we did here, we added single quote label based on the text in the attribute. And in the next video, we'll go to iteration number 3. Thank you.